The town of Solwaster in the province of Liège may be small, but it has at least two things going for it. It has a name like a Scandinavian death metal band, and it is home to the highest rated hike in Belgium on AllTrailes. I was curious to see what all the fuzz was about, and set out on a solo hike. There are some parking spots near the church or at these locations. The actual hike starts at this spot. There's bike racks here as well as some sheltered picnic spots. Just don't bump your head. The hike itself is actually pretty short, about 9 kilometers. You spend about 4 kilometers following the La Stadt River upstream, climbing about 140 meters in the process, and then 5 kilometers going mostly downhill. And that first part quickly reveals why this is such a popular hike. As you follow the Stadt, you cross dozens of little bridges and even pass a couple of small waterfalls. It reminded me of the Naglaspo river hike, but luckily a lot less crowded. The footage here is shot in February, so spring, summer and autumn are bound to look even better. Hike number 57, as it's so poetically called, is easy to follow with these blue rectangles. The only spot where it gets a little confusing is here and here, but since the whole trail is a twisted loop, it doesn't really matter which direction you choose there. Don't cut down the tree that guides you. Is that a proverb yet? I feel it should be. Even though you cover a fair bit of vertical distance, I wouldn't really call this a challenging hike. My not-so-smart watch proudly gave me a "you're working out" notification after 2 hours of hiking, so I can't have been working too hard. It does require a bit of sure-footedness though, and I imagine that it can be quite muddy and slippery on rainy days. One benefit of the loop is that they also make it easy to do a shorter version of the trail if you've bitten off a bit more than you can chew or your kids are not really feeling it. They should though, because it really is an adventurous hike with lots of places to play. They're not going to drown, but if they're even slightly adventurous, you can count on some wet shoes and clothes. The second part of the walk has some slightly boring parts here and here, but you are rewarded with interesting landscapes and a small sandstone dolmen. After looping back, you get to the top of the Rocher de Bilice, the big rock towering over the valley below. Unlike the Naglaspo river hike, where all the nice parts are in the first half of the hike, here the points of interest are nicely spread out, with a picnic spot near the end as a bonus. I'm still not quite convinced that this really is the best hike in Belgium, but I can certainly understand why it gets a very high score on AllTrailes. It's a real crowd pleaser that gives you a sense of adventure without being too demanding, and it is a lot of fun for kids. It may be a bit on the short side for more serious hikers, but there are a ton of great trails in the vicinity to combine it with. Highly recommended.